Hey guys, so in today's video, I'm just gonna be talking about how to start a K-pop journal. I'm gonna talk about how to start, what to write about, and basically what you need for a K-pop journal. So without further ado, let's get it. Firstly, I just wanted to go over what a journal is. So according to Google, a journal is a daily record of news and events of a personal nature. This includes things such as a diary. So pretty much, since it's considered personal, this basically means you can write anything or do anything in your journal. So whatever revolves around you and resonates with you, you do you. There's no set guidelines or rules on what to do and write in your journal. It's just a personal space where you could basically do and write about anything. So to answer the question of what do I write in a K-pop journal or in any journal of any sort, you could basically just write about anything. So if you ever wanted to write something personal, you could either write about events you've gone to, restaurants you've eaten at, your feelings and emotions about a certain topic, issue, and if it's about K-pop, you could just write about your favorite group or your bias or a comeback that you liked or a debut or just anything that involves K-pop. If you want, you could also do both. So you could add personal entries while also adding pictures of K-pop. So the journal can still be considered K-pop since there is K-pop in the journal if there's like pictures and such. Your journal is whatever you want it to be, so even if there's no pictures and you're just writing about whatever, and if it involves K-pop, it's technically still a K-pop journal because you're writing about K-pop. So overall, I just want to say that in terms of what to write about in your K-pop journal, just write about whatever you relate with the most and what resonates with you the most, because you know yourself best and you don't want to write something or make a spread about something just because someone else is doing it, because it's not what you're interested in. Write about whatever you're interested in, because then you'll maintain a K-pop journal and you'll just be more motivated to continue writing in your K-pop journal or any journal because you're writing about something you enjoy. So my main tip in terms of writing in your K-pop journal is to just do you. You do you because you know yourself best and you'll stay interested in journaling that way. Now that I'm done rambling on about what to write about in your K-pop journal, now I'm gonna be talking about the materials you can use in your K-pop journal. So, as I've inferred earlier, journaling has a lot of freedom and you can do whatever you want with it, as well as use whatever you want in your journal. So the first thing I'm going to be talking about is the notebook. Obviously, you need something to write on in order to have a journal. So just use whatever notebook you'd like to use, and it's all up to personal preference. So if you want to use a lined notebook, a gridded notebook, a dotted notebook, a blank notebook, an A4 notebook, A5, there are so many different types of notebooks. Just use whatever you'd like to use, and in my opinion, if you're starting off, I'd say to just purchase a cheap notebook, or if you have a notebook lying around, just use that. But I'd say get something that's not worth a lot of money, because you're just starting off and you just want to see if journaling is for you and you like it, because you don't want to end up wasting your money if you don't end up liking journaling. So I'd say invest in a cheap journal or a cheap notebook. It just leaves you with a lot of space to just explore and experiment, because it's not that expensive and you can just do whatever you want, and eventually if you end up liking journaling a lot, you can then invest in other good quality journals in the future. So a recommendation that I have for a notebook is the Midori MD gridded notebook. Although it's not on the very cheap side, I think the Midori is pretty good because the gridded lines aren't that obvious and the pages are smooth and the quality is just nice. So for a notebook, I'd say invest in a cheap notebook for your first journal, and if ever you really want to invest in a really good quality notebook, I suggest the Midori MD graded notebook. This is not sponsored. Midori, please sponsor me because I love you. Next, I'm going to be talking about the writing materials. Just like the notebooks, you have the freedom to use whatever writing supplies you want, and it's all up to you. It's just based on your personal preference and what you're most comfortable with. So either a pen or a pencil, gel, ink, ball pen, or a pencil. And for the writing materials, my recommendations are the Muji gel ink pens. I use the size 0.38, and I also recommend the Pilot Juice pen in black in 0.38. But then again, use whatever writing supply you want, whatever you're comfortable with, whatever is easy to get for you, whatever is accessible. Just use whatever you're comfortable with. And the last thing I want to talk about as a basic necessity is pictures. At first, I didn't want to say that pictures was a necessity because I know some people might not be able to print out photos or get K-pop photo cards or K-pop stickers. So I didn't really want to say that it's a necessity, but it is a nice visual aspect in a K-pop journal. So if you can print out photos or get K-pop stickers or any visual aspect relating to K-pop or anything that you're into, then I highly suggest getting those. But if you really can't, don't stress about it because you can draw, doodle, use other stickers, magazines and such. So just use whatever you have that's accessible to you because eventually if you put your mind to it, you got this, alright? Other than the basic necessities of a notebook, writing supplies, and pictures, I also wanted to go over decorative items and other stationery supplies such as brush pens, markers, washi tapes, memos, sticky notes, and stickers. These aren't really necessary for journaling. Like, you don't really have to go out of your way and spend lots of money just to get these items for journaling. These items are just good when you want to build your creativity and just experiment in your journal. Some people say that they can't start a K-pop journal because they don't have this, or they don't have this many washi tapes or brush pens or memo pads. They're not really necessary because, like I've said in the beginning, the whole point of a journal is to document anything that you enjoy. So the whole writing part is basically the whole point of journaling. And the decorative supplies are just aspects of journaling that can help you become more creative when making spreads. It doesn't really affect what you're writing about. So don't stress out too much about not having all of those supplies. Eventually, you'll be able to build your collection and you'll be able to spend money to buy all of the washis you want and the memo pads and the stickers. Just be patient because it takes time and there's no rush. Just use whatever you have that's accessible to you at the moment. Use magazines, newspapers, any old books. I feel as though when you challenge yourself to use whatever you already have around you, I feel like it just makes you become more creative because you're only using the things that are accessible to you. So that's my challenge to you. Don't stress out too much about not having all the stationery in the world. Just find whatever is close to you in your room, in your house, and just try to make a spread out of the things you have. So don't worry, in the end, you'll get what you want and you'll see that journaling is much more than having all those stationery and decorative supplies. So that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about in this video. I'm not sure if I missed anything, so if I did, please comment them down below. All in all, even though I've already rambled so much in this video, I just want to say that journaling has a lot of freedom and honestly, just do you. Use whatever you want, write about whatever you want, and there's no rules, so go crazy, go stupid, you know? If you like this video, give it a like as always, and comment down below if you have anything to say, questions or comments or feelings, opinions. Just comment them down below, and if you like my content, subscribe or click the notification bell button. I think that's what YouTubers say, but I don't know. But anyway, if you like my content, subscribe, and hopefully I see you guys in my next one. I'll talk to you guys later. I hope you have a good day. Please take care of yourselves, and bye!
주인공처럼 되려 하는 게 내 입술에는 아직 너의 살느낌이 배어있는데